Now that the future of agility is upon us, now that it's time for massive change in the way that we think and the way we offer value, you got to start thinking bigger. That's this week on the Badass Agile podcast. Greetings, team. Welcome to the Badass Agile podcast. I'm your host, Chris Williams. Hello, my wonderful friend. It's lovely to see you. Thank you, as always, for being a listener. So happy you could make it today. I want to talk to you about how to start thinking bigger. This episode really is about inspiring you to do more for your clients, your teams, your customers. First, let's take a moment to remember why we're here. To create an elite tribe of leaders who truly serve their clients and communities by doing what matters and what works, relentlessly chasing value and excellence like a badass. There's so many resources out there about what you need to do to be agile, but we're focused on who you need to become in order to lead teams. So let's hammer down those fundamentals to create a truly unique and powerful force in this industry. And remember, if this helps you, tell your friends. You can find us in the Badass Agile Listener Lounge and also on Clubhouse in the Badass Agile Club. Now, thinking bigger seems antithetical to incremental delivery. We're so used to saying, let's just get 2% more, 1% more, 5% more this sprint, and then the next sprint will do more of the same. Now that's true when it comes to taking big, bold ideas and breaking them into small, releasable chunks of value. But what you don't want to do is make your thinking 1% and 2%. The way to deliver value is in small, appreciable chunks of high priority value consistently over time. That's how you build muscle. That's how you build your brain. That's how you build a great product. But the ideas around product, around improvement, around process, around revenue generation, around a new business need to be enormous. You got to have big ideas. So I want you guys to start serving your clients by thinking bigger. Well, what does that look like? How do you think bigger? Just take everything you do and multiply it by 5, 10, 20, 100. For example, right now, in your Scrum team, you're probably thinking about how can we eliminate waste like just 2% waste, 5% waste. But what if you flipped your thinking and said, how can we eliminate 80% of our waste, 80% of our effort even, trying to get most of the value in 10 or 20% of the time and investment? What about helping your product owner not come up with one new product this year, but 5 new products this year? What would they be? How would we shape them so that they're manageable and we can fit them into the same time frame? By hyper-focusing on MVP, extreme MVP. What about this? Don't just fix problems for your team. When you come into work and you're like, well, how's everyone doing today? Well, maybe some donuts would solve that happiness problem. Go way bigger. What are the problems I can fix for the whole organization? What's never been done before? What has never been fixed before? What's something that everyone says is impossible, can't be done? Let's do that. Now that's thinking bigger. Here's one that I know is not going to be too popular. How about we eliminate all meetings? Not just some, but all. So we can have working sessions where we get together, solve a problem, discuss a solution, but we don't meet to meet. We contribute and collaborate online, real-time, offline. Doesn't matter how we do it, but we no longer need a 1-hour meeting to commune, talk, and basically, let's be honest, we spend most of our time in meetings listening to other people, not actively contributing. So let's kill them. How could you do that, by the way? Just to give you a tip, carve out time in your calendar that nobody can book, set the topic to private, even if it's just 1 to 2 hours a day, and let them try and catch you. Dude, that's badass. Come on, you know it is. Here's another way to think bigger. When you're trying to improve quality, when you're trying to increase predictability, reliability, or productivity, when you're trying to get faster, don't create processes, create cultures instead. Cultures of speed, cultures of ruthless elimination and waste reduction, cultures of extreme accountability, cultures of playing to your passion. Do that, and you're breaking every rule of modern team management you can think of, but I'm willing to bet that you'll agree that is the shortest and simplest way to true team happiness and productivity. Here's another one. Abolish all reports. Find some other way to show your customer what's been built. It doesn't have to be the demo. It could be a corkboard where you stick finished things. Dangle a smartphone from a piece of string with your current version of the app preloaded. Post QR codes that have links to the documentation. Have your big old Kanban or goals board or to-do list or checklist or whatever you use to track and manage work. Have that stuck up on the wall where anyone can come in and have a look anytime they want. Completely eliminating dashboards and status reports. I love that one. Here's another way to think bigger. What could we do to triple or quadruple our new skill adoption and attainment? So what are the latest and greatest training techniques and knowledge retention techniques or growth techniques that would allow the team to really amp up their toolkit by maximizing our skill building and learning time investment? Now, those are just some examples that pop into my head of how we could create tremendous value by thinking always bigger, bigger, bigger. And in your mind, you might be thinking, well, this sounds like even more pressure and more stress for teams. No, it's not. Because if you focus on the bigger ideas, on the bigger components of massive value, here's what happens. You stop thinking about the inconsequential. You stop worrying about the little tiny details because you'll realize that perfect is the enemy of done. And the better you get at releasing high-value things into the wild, the more value you add to the organization, not by tuning your velocity, but by increasing the impact of your ideas and actions. This is where Agile needs to go next. We need to bust out of this bubble of thinking that our primary job is to improve the productivity, reliability, and repeatability of software delivery done by teams, and instead shift our fire to solving impossible problems, to doing things our competitors can't or won't do, to doing things that make our customers go, wow, this is the best thing I've ever seen. This is exactly what I needed. I've been waiting my whole life for this. When you think bigger, these things suddenly become possible. So let's do it. Get out a notepad right now and start thinking, what are problems that we assume can't be solved? What are they, and what kind of solution could I propose that might just be crazy enough to work? What's something that everyone agrees can't be done? You can't do it. What's something that's never been done before or hasn't been done yet? But we know if we could do it, we'd change the world. What's something that would make the universe of your clients, your teams, your peers exponentially better by either subtracting something that's just hugely painful and wasteful and outdated and replacing it with something powerful and liberating and quick and speedy? What can we do to put things in our customers' hands tomorrow, not 3 months from now, not 12 sprints from now, but tomorrow? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to come up with your list of ideas and let me know, does this change things for you? If nothing else, do you notice that you automatically become more passionate, happier, more productive, more amped up about what you do every day? Because ultimately, Agile's got to be about one of two things for you. It's either got to make you a whole lot happier, or it has got to make you a whole lot faster. I personally would love a ton of both, because I think that is how we jump into the ice bath. That's how we smack the universe across the face and say, wake up. It's time to do better, to be better, to become more. My friends, thank you for listening today. As always, you can reach out at badassagile.com or find me on Twitter at badass_agile. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, stay badass.